like to welcome everyone and thank you all for taking the time to watch our video. I am Dr. Isela Dubose of the Arizona Enlightenment Center, and today I have Angelique Clarke from Emerald Heart, which is located in Litchfield Park, off of Dysart and Indian School. And you know, it's in that Albertson's shopping plaza if you are in the West Valley, in Phoenix in the West Valley. So Litchfield Park, Avondale, it's kind of like the Avondale-Litchfield Park border. It's a cute little shop, and I have been in there several times, have had lots of, I think, fabulous conversations with Angelique, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time just getting, I want you all to know who she is, why she opened Emerald Heart, the intent of the shop and kind of her vision for that, and what that means for us in the spiritual community, because I think that, you know, things align that the way they should, and I think it showed up at the time that it needed to show up, and I wanted you all to know that it exists. So welcome, and thank you very much for joining me today, Angelique.
And thank you for having me.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted to say again, thank you. It's an honor, truly, and I'm looking forward to this and hoping many people will listen to this and stop in. I really believe that they'll love it.
So tell me about your vision for Emerald Heart. Like what inspired you to open a shop? And I have to tell you, if you live in the West Valley, there aren't very many places that have, because your shop is unique. It's different than other metaphysical stores that I have been to. So I want you to speak to that a little bit. So first, what inspired you, and why have you chosen to, and I'm going to add some pictures in this that I've taken, but why have you chosen to like not have everything metaphysical? You have so many things that I think anyone can really appreciate. So speak on those two things.
Well, and that really was what made me decide how Emerald Heart was going to be. When I came into knowing that I was meant to open this place up, first off, I didn't know it was going to be called Emerald Heart. I was coming up with 100 names, and finally Spirit came in and told straight out that Emerald Heart was the name. So I thought, well, okay, then that's it. Then I thought, when I found out that I was coming into Phoenix, that I was going to open in Phoenix, and I'm looking everywhere, and it just got heavier for me. It wasn't that it was a bad area. It was that I was not meant to be there. Mm-hmm. So the further west I went, the lighter it got for me. And then I thought to myself, why am I here? Why in this location? But then again, the question was, why was the location a problem to begin with? It wasn't. So what I had come to realize was that it was much needed in this area, but I did not want a metaphysical store. I have been called a witch, I've been called a gypsy, I've been called all kinds of names. I've done this work many, 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 many years and have done this many lifetimes. And the last thing I wanted was to carry that stereotype persona of stay away from that stuff. So when I created Emerald Heart, I wanted it to be about the individual person's soul healing for themselves. So when I thought about that, I thought, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean I just bring in all healing tools, whether it be tuning forks or singing bowls, which I carry all that, by the way, or do I go in a different direction with this? And I thought, no, I need to bring everybody in here. There are many people that are so scared of that stereotyped metaphysical store that I did not need that fear coming this way. So I chose to make it more homey, more inviting, more eclectic. So I sell everything from home decor to teas and plants, jams and lotions and soaps and men's beard balms. I mean, I went on the personal self. When we're depressed, we shop. It's a known fact, that's what we do. So I thought, what would I do, or what would I bring in here that would help that person, even if it's just for that moment, bring in healing for themselves. So then I started looking at it in a personal level versus what I thought it should be. And so then I started bringing in the hygiene things, the teas, and I even sell candy. And by the way, best chocolatiers at top 10 in the United States. I have here. So I would just kind of went in different areas. I bought books on self-healing, opening up the heart, because it's important that we learn to heal. And we're here to grow, to expand. We do this every single day. But in order for us to be the people that we're meant to become, we have to take a step. And sometimes if they go into a store like mine, which is very unique, you're correct, it's very warm, very colorful. They don't realize that I'm the healer, I'm the psychic, I'm the medium. And so they're like, oh, wow, this is a beautiful store. I got to come and get this. And then when oh, you do that? Like, wow, you do energy healing? I would love to get an appointment. So when I bring that in, they're not so scared. But when I leave it as a metaphysical, they back off. And so I wanted to bring a whole new genre and bring it forward, whether you call it boutique or just a little gift shop. It really has this unique flair, and that's what I wanted to bring to the table, because I needed love to come from it, and I wanted it to be based on love. And with the Emerald Heart, which I thought was ironic that it is the green heart chakra, it was ideal for it to become the lighthouse, the love, the home, the hub for love and healing. And so that's kind of how all that came about. I really had no clue how I was going to design it. I just started doing it. And this is what came from it.
So I think that I agree in terms of what it feels like when you walk in. And I have to give you lots of credit for that, because unlike a lot of other places I've been to, and I've done some traveling, and I seek out stores like yours, just because it's interesting, right? To go someplace new and different and see what other people have. And I remember walking into your store at first and feeling that sense of warmth, feeling that sense of invitation. That's what it felt like to me, invitation.
Yeah.
And I was interested in the stuff, like, my eye got drawn to something in the corner, and then my eye got drawn to some of the art you have hanging up, and then my eye got drawn to the teas. You have lots of different teas, and I think that you've done a really nice job at really making it approachable for anyone, because I know I have walked into other stores where I can see sort of, because we come in with our beliefs and our biases and and all the things that we've been taught, right? That we sometimes don't get past that enough to really understand. The fear takes over. And I think what's really nice about your store is that that fear isn't evoked right away. There's no fear. It's invitation is what I feel when I walk in.
Yeah. When I created it, I didn't want the store to be genderized, and I didn't want it to be labeled, because I wanted people to say, oh my gosh, did you see that statue over there? And it's like, and then there's like, oh, wait a minute, I need some sage over there. And so they're kind of going, and you're right. They're always like, I didn't see this last time I was here. It's like, because it's amazing, because the way I did it, I really never saw the way I was doing it. I just knew to do it. And so even I'm amazed every time I walk in my store. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Have somebody design it. I did it myself. So it's really fascinating to see that. And I cannot I cannot stress enough how much warmth there is, how much love. You could tell your story and feel good leaving because you were able to unload it, and you walk out of there just feeling changed somehow. You shifted. You got rid of a paradigm that was holding you back. So it's really amazing how that works.
So let's talk a little bit about what services you offer, because you have stuff, and we're going to talk a little bit about the stuff that you have for sale. I actually have my necklace right here that I just purchased from you. I wore it for a keynote that I did recently, And it's one of my favorite things. I'm going to show it here. Oops, you really can't see it because of the light, but it's a lovely necklace. And it says, because I have this crazy idea that my purpose is bigger than me. And I resonated with me. Let's talk about your services, what you offer in terms of services.
Okay, so I am a healer first and foremost. I am an intuitive psychic medium. I work with auras, I work with chakras, I work with psychometry. I'm highly empathic, and I have many modalities. I'm a medical intuitive. So I never know, especially when I'm doing a reading, I don't separate my readings for, okay, do you want a psychic reading, or do you want a mediumship reading, or do you want to know about what's going on with your body? And I throw it all in to that reading. I pour whatever spirit is meant for me to give you, you will receive. So I really cherish that because it's important. I don't need to separate anything. What you're meant to receive, you will receive. And then as far as my healing work, I am a Reiki master teacher, but I'm more of a trance healer. So I had once been from an elder told that I was a shaman, not a shaman, a shaman. I will never call myself that, but I was told that only, and he was showing me that he could manipulate energy, and that I was here as with shaman energy to do the work. We're removing toxins and sickness from people. Now, I have removed some things from people, but again, when I say it is not me. I'm just the vessel for the greater spirit of light to come in and do the work. So I never mean that as me personally, because I will never own that. It's just not my space. So whether it's just a light healing, or color and sound, I work with the color vibrations and oils, or tuning forks, or singing bowls. I work with many different modalities, and technically, if I looked at all the stuff that I went for school for, I probably got about 18, 19 different modalities, but I couldn't even put them all together in one if I tried. So I'm not gonna put it all out there. I just kind of feel what's important is what they will receive. And I always ask them right before they come in, when they're booking a session, especially if it's healing, if they want me to kind of discern for them what is needed for them, whether, releasing attachments or moving energy, whatever it is I need to do, or they're just wanting to relax and have peace, I can do that too. So it's really for them, but I won't know until they come in, because I really don't want to say that they might say, well, I need Reiki. Well, no, that's not what I get. But I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to let you discern that after we talk a little bit. And then if you feel that we need to change it up, we can change it up. So, because sometimes, it's like we get a haircut, and I'm an hairdresser. So you get a haircut. God, I love the haircut, and tried it on. It was horrible when you took it home because it wasn't what you needed. So it's no different even when you're working with energy. So, and I'll firmly I'll go to my grave with that. You're going to get what you receive, whether it be energy or a reading. So that's why I'm with mine.
So how can people find out about, how can somebody book an appointment with you?
Well, they can either call me on the office phone, or they can book an appointment through Facebook and go onto Zoom, do a Zoom appointment or a phone reading. And so those three are the only ways that I am doing it right now. I understand that there is, what was that? There was another one before Zoom that everybody was doing. Skype, yeah. And I really never got connected with Skype. I did, but I never really liked it as much. I do like the Zoom. So if they're going to get a reading from me or distant healing, I could do it again over phone, Zoom, or in person. And they can just come to Emerald Heart if they're going to come in person.
So you are still open, right?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
You are still open. So what are your hours?
Right now, my business hours, and when it picks up, the hours will, I will enhance them even more. But right now, they're Monday through Friday from 11 to 7 p.m., Saturday from 12 to 6 p.m., and Sunday 12 to 5 p.m. I'm closed Monday and Tuesdays, but a lot of times I do my reading and energy work on my days off. So you can schedule with me for those off days and I can make arrangements.
Okay, so I'm going to put the contact information on this video so people can reach out to you for reading. And I'm going to give you a testimonial here. I have had a lot of readings done, and I'm also a medium, and I've had a ton of readings, and sometimes, I don't want to say sometimes, a lot of times they are what I would consider, just pleasant. Sometimes I call them floaty. They're just, maybe we'll talk about some past lives, or we'll talk about, that was a lovely experience. But my experience with you was that you really nailed it. I mean, I said to my husband, it's like I went for a reading, but so much was about you and what you need to do. So it's like and then what was very cool, I have to tell this story because it was very, very cool. You had made mention of a charm bracelet. And I haven't had a charm bracelet. I had one, and I used to wear it all the time when I used to be a director at a crisis intervention program. And so I wore the charm bracelet nearly my entire time that I worked there. And at some point when I left there, I just stopped wearing it. And so I stuck it in my jewelry box, and you made mention, this was after the reading, you were saying something about a charm bracelet. And I said, oh, it's been a long time. I'm sure I have it. Like, that's weird. Why would you bring that up? And you're like, well, I don't know, but just kind of keep it on the back of your head. And so I go home, and the next day my daughter comes up to me and she says, Mama, what's a charm bracelet? And I was like, are you kidding me? She's like, what is that? And so she'd watched it on something, and I explained to her what it was. We went to the jewelry box. I pulled out my old charm bracelet, and she started wearing it. And it was it was just such an awesome, and it's crazy because I do that, right? Like, I do readings for other people, but when I'm on the receiving end of it, I'm like, wow, that was freaky.
I freak myself out sometimes. I'm like, no, did I just say that really? Oh my God. So yeah, I get amazed even with myself. So I mean, you just never know what's going to come. But I trust it. So
yeah, and I think that's what's so key right there, is that with those of us who do this work, we recognize that we're not the ones in charge, right? I mean, you just said it. So it's like, I amaze myself because it's not really me doing the work, but boy, when I hear it, it's like, whoa, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like when you tell them, oh, by the way, oh, you're pregnant. No, and then they find out they're pregnant. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's amazing. Awesome. Yeah, so it's like, or I told one guy one time, and I was at Sweetheart, I was studying, I also am a hypnotherapist. So I was telling him, and one of their monthly free shares that they do at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. And this man young man came up to me and said, oh my God, you're going to the Middle East. He looked at me. He goes, excuse me? I said, yeah, you're going to the Middle East. He goes, how do you know that? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I just put in an application this morning to go to the Middle East. I said, well, you got the job. I see him a month later, and he's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He goes, how did you know? And I said, it was just gifted. I said, so, and he goes, am I going to be okay? And I said, well, I'm going to tell you this. I said, you're given this opportunity to learn a new, that you're taking on a new journey. Yeah. I said, let that be your lesson right now. Don't worry about what may happen, because it's not there. So don't create it. Just enjoy the opportunity that you get to go somewhere so beautifully amazing that, others would love to go where you're going. So just be happy with that. And he was just amazed, though. So I was too.
It's so cool when that happens. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this, because you initially had lots of workshops that were scheduled because you have a small little space in the back of the store where your intention is to offer workshops. So what's your vision for that? For what kinds of workshops are you going to offer? Are you offering them now? So talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so I am going to start creating workshops again. All the ones that were online, I actually took them off and either moved them so far ahead that it gives me time to schedule them, because some of them can only be done in person. I'm with the COVID-19. I think legally I'm allowed no more than 10 people in a room, and of course 6 feet apart. However, I do plan on scheduling and making them online as well. So in this next week, I'm going to be busy creating new classes, but I really want to focus on healing. I will have some classes from time to time on the psychic side, like learning the clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance. You know, I will have some of those, but really it's all about the heart going inside and peeling that onion and finding out who you are. Because we come in this world, we think that we're damaged, but we're really not. You know, it's what we came here to learn. So it's not anything that you didn't already sign up for, but it's learning to get past that so that you can do the work, because we came here to be of service to others. Mm-hmm. Just as we teach others about our journeys, we don't have to tell our story other than that we can let them know we've been there with them. So if we're helping them to get past where they're at, they too can start helping others so that the vibration of the planet can be lifted. So I do want to create, you know, stuff on vibration. I had wrote a list down, some, you know, working with the auric fields, learning how to know what the heart energy is versus what you think the heart energy is. I want to create classes on meditation, very unique, creative classes on meditation, where, for instance, one of the classes that I'll be creating, it will be in person in the store, and that will be that I will have a coloring book and they will get pictures of something that I pass out. That's going to be their avatar. So that avatar, they're going to color it, but I don't want a solid color like if it's a dress and it's all one color. I put stars and stripes and polka dots, whatever. Create this crazy avatar, because you're going to take that on your meditation. Mm-hmm. That's going to be your guide. So, and you're going to give that guide a name. So you're going to create. So once you learn to be creative on your journey, you now have started a new opportunity for awareness for yourself to become more greater than what you've been. Yep. So it's spreading it and seeing that as you're here and that tunnel gets wider and wider and wider, you're becoming more of who you really are. So you have to find that discipline, that energy that says somewhere inside that says, no, I am all that. I am that best person. You know, I am that creator, and then make it whole. But healing is very important all the way around. The earth really needs it. And so do the souls that are on the planet. So that is my, you know, right now what I'm looking at for classes is creating different ways of finding the healing, the light, the love. And I really want to expand the I am consciousness. So I really want to go talk about the threefold flame, the violet flame, you know, the ascended masters. Are you really connected to the ascended masters? Are you in a gray area that really may not truly be connecting with them? You know, it's learning about discernment and following the heart versus what's in here. And like I said, I will create some classes that are on Zoom as well, because with everything happening, we have to change. It's not a choice. This is something that has to happen. And so I was the first one that was very uncomfortable with Zoom. But one of my guides told me, you better get on Zoom. I'm like, okay. So yeah. Here I am.
I did, so I teach a course of love, or I facilitate that group. And the first time, I think we have maybe 10 on average who come to the group. And the first time, I knew the first 30 minutes is just figuring out how to do this. Totally. Yeah, we're good.
My first class on Zoom, I sat there and was trying to get it all figured out. Remember when we first started, we couldn't talk?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like looking in the camera, getting real close to the camera. Can you? Yeah, doing all that. And I get down, I was like, God, I don't understand what happened with the audio. And after I shut everything off, I realized that I had the headphones plugged in. My ear. And so I was like, God, I think I hear something. So I didn't know how to work with this. I was like, it was a laugh. So I'm getting more comfortable with it, and that's good. And I've done a few readings this way, and I find actually that it's just as easy as if they were here. I was nervous of that because of the energy. I was like, okay, it's a whole new arena. How is this energy going to transfer? But it instantly, I was like, okay, I get the energy. It's instant.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah,
And
I feel the same way. I've had real successful readings on Zoom too. Yeah.
yeah,
You know, again, you have to find what resonates with you. I often use kind of these big thought leaders. It's like, you know, there's so many that the message at the bottom line is the same. All of our messages the same in terms of you are love. You are love at the deepest core of who you are.
yeah,
It's just letting go of all the bullshit to get to that and live in that space, because you can
mhm,
access that every day, every moment of every day. It's not
yeah,
outside, it's within. But you have to find who resonates with you, you know. And sometimes, you know, I kind of come off super strong sometimes, and I use inappropriate language, and if that resonates with you, great. If there are other people who feel totally meditative and om like, if that if that resonates with you, that's great. So I think that for those of you who are still watching this, if we resonate with you, please go and like the Arizona Enlightenment Center Facebook page, YouTube page, or YouTube, to subscribe to our channel. Emerald Heart also has their own Facebook page, so like them there. You have an Instagram page too, right? You have Instagram,
I do.
and it's also
Yes.
Emerald Heart.
Yes.
Okay. And then
I think it's Emerald Heart Litchfield. I think it is Emerald Heart Litchfield.
so show us one or two items that you have in your
yeah.
store.
Great. So here, so it's a macaroon soap, okay? And it's by Latika.
Hold it
And
up a little
so
bit more.
I hold it up higher. Do you see it?
Ah,
And so it looks like the little maroon cookies, but they're actually soap. And they are, and you know, it's like, and these are paraben free. So that means that it's they're a chemical with a para-hydroxybenzide that's been removed. And this is what they put in soaps normally, soaps, shampoos, conditioners, and some foods, which, you know, don't help the body. So this is good because this is most of the things I get are trying to be more in the organic side, or, you know, they're free of chemicals. I even brought in like bonsai trees. So I actually have we can't grow them here in Georgia, but I bought them because to bring to sell was because we know people that live all over the world. And what a great gift. And I thought it was unique. And I sell everything from cherry blossoms to Venus flytraps and poppy seeds. You know, I was looking for different plants just to kind of to bring the earth love.
right. Yeah.
I have this jam and jam. It's cherries and cloves and Cabernet. And it's really good. It has a really, you can put this over, of course, toast, as we would know, or cheesecake, or you can use it with crepes or scones. You can use it for many different things. But again, this is all organic and it's whole and it's low sugar. Okay. I have like a foot polish, which is exfoliating, and it's got pumice and it's got peppermint, tea tree. And you just kind of rub it, you know, in a circular motion, rinse it off, blot it dry, but it's to help with the skin. But again, you know, with the peppermint and tea tree, it also helps with fungus and, you know, bacterial stuff. So this is really a good thing.
Yeah.
Then I have, and this comes from Canada, and this is tealish tea, and this is a detox. And this is an antiviral and antibacterial tea with dandelion and ginger and orange, and it's just a really good tea. So I look for exquisite teas, and you know, you've been in the store, so I look for different products because to me, it's important not to have what everybody else has. If I had that, I would be the girl next door, I guess, with the same thing as Walgreens or Target or Walmart. So I'm trying to create, some things come from France, some I have stuff from Norway. I have a couple things from Greece. So I kind of look for different pieces to bring in because I like that unique eclectic flair. And so, but it is something you might want to check out, you know.
Yeah.
Yourself.
You do also, for those folks who are looking for, you know, like spiritual items, you have large singing bowls.
I do.
Have pendulums, beautiful pendulums. You have lots of jewelry that with stones. You have a selection of books that I think cover everything from self-care all the way into, you know, prayer, meditation, that kind of thing.
I do.
So there is, I think, something for everybody.
Yes, I have stuff for clearing dragon's blood, you know, for doing like self-love rituals, stuff like that, charcoal. Again, it's more for the personal healing of who you are and what's holding you back. And so I'm here to help you find that space. And I'm looking forward to people coming in here.
All right, so you're still open. I want to just repeat where you are located. It's on Dysart and Litchfield on the northeast corner at the Albertson Shopping Center. And it's on the more on the west side of the Albertson Shopping Center. And you can actually just give her a call. Even if there was something that you liked that you saw today, I'm sure to give you a call and, you know, ask more information about it. I know people are afraid right now with COVID and, you know, leaving and their house and that sort of thing. But I think it's also important for us to support our small businesses. And so I want to kind of put a plug in. And so if there's anything that you are interested in, give Angelique a call. And, you know, she's more than willing to work with you if you're interested in getting, I have like 1 million pendulums in my house just to have them around because sometimes I get in my own way. And so I have them everywhere. If you're interested in seeing some of them, they're beaded. Many of them are beaded and very, very pretty. You know, I'm sure, you know, she'll make as many accommodations so that you feel safe.
I do, and I even sell face masks.
Yeah.
I sew them and make them. So yeah, I'm very crafty, so there's a lot I can do with this. And working on stained glass next.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do stained glass, yes.
Well, thank you very, very much for your time today. And yeah, I look forward to our collaborative work in the future.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. And it was awesome.